Welcome to the E.A.T podcast. It's episode number 43. I'm your co-host, Jerry. The other co-host tonight, Russ, will join us after the interview with our guest. Our guest today really needs no introduction. It's been on the show several times. If you covered the Nasdaq closing bell ceremony 2 weeks ago, if you were a part of that watching on Twitter, you know who our guest is. He is the CEO, co-founder of Hempacco. The stock symbol is HPCO on the Nasdaq, GGII on the OTC pink sheets. Welcome again to the E.A.T podcast, Sandro Piancone. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Jerry, for inviting me on. I appreciate it. And thank you to your guest giving us some time on a Friday night, much later for you guys on the East Coast than over here on the West Coast.
Yep, 7 o'clock our time, 4 o'clock yours. Hey, I got to say right off the bat, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for everything that was a part of the closing bell at the Nasdaq. I met your fantastic team. I want to thank you personally for the introductions to your children. I had a great conversation with the both of them. I met Chairman of the Board, Dr. Stuart Titus, Chief Technology Officer, Sergio Oliveras. Thank you to yourself. Thank you to Jorge Olson for the whole experience. I know we only had a minute or so there, and the environment was hectic, and now it's more relaxed, and we can get into a full-blown interview, and you can tell us what's going on. But I got to ask you right off the bat, how was that experience looking back on it now?
Oh, my God. So what I tell people is I didn't know what to expect, and it was 10 times better than that. So the whole experience, the actual bell ringing, which we can tell everyone the secret, there's really no bell.
It's a button.
It was a digital screen, and you went like this and pushed it. And then when everything that was going on, then we got invited outside and we got to look up, and everything that was there, our videos, our pictures were up there, was spectacular. Even our San Diego team that we had filmed live got up there.
So. Yeah, it was great. I saw all the hello and welcome and thank you and congratulations messages from everybody who couldn't make it. They did a fantastic job. I mean, you're standing in that little area in Times Square and you're looking up at this big building and it's your picture. Like it's everybody's picture. It was unbelievable.
Really feel welcome. They were very professional. They went out of their way. Not them, but even the catering staff was awesome. Everything was perfect. I'm going to tell everyone a funny story because it's funny. It's the nature we live in. I've been living it 3 years, dealing with people. I'm going to say our whole job is education. A lot of people are uneducated about the hemp business.
Yes.
So one of the things is, as part of the bell ringing, we get to do a 2-minute video up on that screen showing the company, our HPCO and everything. And we were so worried because a part of it had the Cheech and Chong and it had the flower. And we thought that might, have a problem with it. And of course, we had the packs of the real stuff, Hemp Pop and Cheech and Chong. Yep. And a day before, there was an emergency meeting that they did not allow us to put the packs of cigarettes up.
Really?
They weren't worried about the flower. And I said, why? And we had to get the attorney involved. And so basically NASDAQ does not own that screen. They lease it from someone. And the up is that New York City law and state laws, you can't advertise cigarettes. And they were worried about losing their permit.
Wow.
Okay. We had to redo the video and take the packs off.
Oh, boy.
But the funny part was when they interviewed the team in San Diego, they had the packs and the cartons.
They had everything with them.
So funny last minute, but I deal with this all the time. I've tried to run ads on cable television, on Cox Cable, and the attorneys won't let us run hemp. So
I'm going to ask you about that later, actually. I want to get into some advertising questions with you. But yeah, you definitely, we can talk about it then. I got to say, as we start this, I put out a couple days ago that you were definitely coming on once we confirmed this, obviously. And, I got bombarded on Twitter with, I want to say, definitely over 100 questions or statements from shareholders. I want to say, obviously, about 36 of them or so. 3 dozen were unique, and that's going to build our interview out from today. But I got to say, some of the messages people send out, obviously some stuff is great and it's praise. And I want you to know that there's a great following behind this stock that does appreciate you and what you do and the product you guys are putting out there. But I got to say, there's also some toxic stuff out there, too, that just has to rub me the wrong way. And I'm wondering, do you pay attention to the social media following? Do you pay attention to the toxic messages? I mean, or do you just zone it out and you're like, hey, listen, I'm running a company. that stuff will work itself out as we take care of the share price or the products or whatever. Like, how do you deal with on your end of things the
Right.
background
And
feedback?
so, yeah, I mean, actually, our job is to run the business. I'm the
Yes.
CEO of a company. We have 3 large operating companies, 7 subsidiaries. My job's to run the company. I'm the CEO of 2 publicly traded companies. I'm up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I usually work till 10 or 11 at night, but have time for my family and the things that are important in the weekend. So, yeah, I don't spend a lot of time. Actually, I don't spend any time looking at social media.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have people that enjoy it. We're going to have people that hate it. We tell people we have about 50,000 stockholders, depending on the day. They either love us or they hate us.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rough 3 weeks, in the stock market. And so, yeah, there's a lot of toxic out there. My job's not to worry about that. We have
Okay.
people that manage our social media. And, again, they could be unhappy about the share price. I'm unhappy about a lot of things in California, right?
Oh,
But
sure.
no reason to go and attack someone personally. There's always personal attacks, derogatory things, racist things for
Oh,
some of the team members.
it's
Not
brutal.
necessary. Not necessary.
It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I mean, we're
An
going to get the
intelligent,
information out, but
yeah,
there's a
intelligent
way to ask.
conversation. Yeah, intelligent conversation. We're okay to have, like
Yeah.
we can today with you. We have a IR firm. If someone has any questions, they can send it to the IR team, and they'll answer any questions. So,
Okay.
Again, everyone's free to make business decisions. That's why this is the best country in the world. You can invest stock. That means you can win or you can lose. That's how the world works.
I know.
So,
All right. So the Hempacco Nasdaq IPO raised $6 million for the company. Can you guide us through where that money will be allocated and what going and Nasdaq with the IPO is going to allow you guys to do?
yeah, so it's going to allow us to execute our business plan, which is disrupting the trillion-dollar tobacco industry. So in the S1, it has percentages of what's going to be used. So some is marketing, marketing our brands. Some is for acquisitions. Some is for corporate overhead. Some is for new machinery, new technology. Some is for R&D. So it says in there, the S1, what it's going to be used for, but general corporate purposes is to execute our business plan.
So for all these clowns, and I'm going to use that word, all these clowns on Twitter who are reaching out to me going, oh, they're pocketing the money and they're doing nothing. That's not the case, guys. That's not what they're doing. The money's going back into the business and they're running things. It's not for vacations to Aruba,
Yeah.
as somebody put it to me.
Yeah. So obviously, again, ignorant statements, but read the S1. There's a use of funds that shows what it's in there. It shows what our contracts are. It shows how much we get paid. So it's in there. We have a board of directors, a CFO, a full finance team. It's to execute the business plan of what we do. The part that's at least there, they could say that 6 million came into the company. The stock, when it trades, what's on the float, even if there's a large trade or $50 million traded one day, people actually think that money goes into our pocket. And that's actually the one that's a little bit disturbing, that if they're buying stock, they should know they're buying it from someone else.
Correct.
And it doesn't come to us. So the stock price could go to 10 cents tomorrow, which is a wonderful thing for us, but we don't get any of that value. It doesn't come into our pocket. It helps the company, but it doesn't help us personally. We have not sold one stock, and we will not sell any stocks until the S1 release sometime in 2023.
Okay. Recently, you guys were overseas at a convention, and while you were there, you announced a new client. Can you give us an update and information on that?
Yeah, so the show was called Dortmund Tobacco. We flew into Amsterdam to meet a client. Is a client of ours now. They will be representing us in Europe. They distribute to 5,000 smoke shops. The trade show was tremendous, much bigger than any show here in the U.S. For the smokable industry. So there were different halls, from cigarettes to cigars to hookah. I mean, hookah had its own room, its own lounge, to very little CBD products, and I would say smokable paraphernalia, which are things that we're involved in.
Okay. Are there any more conventions lined up this year? Any more road shows, anything? Or is it going to be quiet for the next few months and then we'll ramp back up again early in 2023?
No, we have two large trade shows coming up. MJ BizCon, which is the big dog in Nevada, that's coming up, and then a vending kiosk show coming up in December. So that's on the trade show. Our plan is to do 12 trade shows next year. I believe we're at 6 this year, 6 or 7.
Okay.
We just got back from the NACS, the National Association of Convenience Stores.
Yes, in Vegas.
We were there. We did not have a booth, but we had meetings. We had our whole sales team there, meetings. We actually, I'm going to say shared a booth. That's probably not the right word, but had a booth with Rap Snacks, our partner, James Lindsay. So he introduced us to his distributors. So no reason really to put out a press release, but they were there working, got several leads, and now the heavy lifting is closing those deals.
Okay. So in the messages I received, the topic of quiet periods came up, and people are curious on how they work, what are the rules associated with them, and with that in mind, were you guys in a quiet period leading up to the Nasdaq IPO, and is that why there was kind of a lull in press releases during that time frame leading up to it?
Yes. So one of the challenges you have, there's two challenges, right? If you were just a private company and you had an IPO coming up, you wouldn't probably be putting any press releases out because you have what's called an S1. And our S1 went through several revisions, I believe 8 or 9 revisions. And what happens is that there were press releases that were put out from GGI side's standpoint, which was an owner of Hempacco. Then the SEC would then start asking questions. Well, if it was so pertinent, why wasn't it in the S1? And it was causing us so many problems that we just had to stop putting out press releases because we think is important and what the SEC thinks is two different things. So going up to that, we stopped. It was a corporate decision to stop putting out press releases. And there is a 30-day window before you go public not to do it. So that's the normal. So we were longer than that, but the normal is that. And then 25 or 30 days after the IPO, you are in I'm going to say that there's another word for it, but they call it a quiet period, that you have to be careful to put things out or to talk about things. We're past that now. I believe it was yesterday. So we're past that now because then you would have to then redo the S1, which would be, a big pain in the, And so you have to be very, very careful what you do. And even today, the things we're going to talk about were things that were in the S1.
Okay. So. All right. Beautiful. So we have the answer to that. Let me ask you, how are press releases going to work in the future? Now, obviously, Hempacco, HPCO is Nasdaq, GGII is Pink Sheets. They're obviously intertwined, but will there be separate press releases for each company? Will there be one blanket press release that will just cover everything and tag both companies and stocks? How is that going to work in the future, if you could tell us?
Yeah, so there's going to be 2 separate press releases. They will be tagged. So we will obviously... Hempacco's owner is GGII, owns 81% of the company. So we will tag GGII. But Hempacco has a slew of new things that we need to talk about, new exciting news. So we will put out our own press releases. And on Green Globe International and its subsidiaries, we'll be putting out press releases on that. So, but we will tag each other, and it'll be 2 separate emails that are going out. 2 separate press releases will be going out.
Okay. We got a lot of messages on if we can get some updates on prior deals and announcements that have happened over the last year or so. So the next couple of questions, I'm just going to rattle off some stuff. If you can tell us things are working, things are going, you can't talk about it. Just that's where this line of questioning is going to go. But Stickit Labs, what can you tell us about what's going on with Stickit?
Yeah, so obviously we signed the agreement. They're our partners. We've been doing R&D. We have actual product coming. So that's nothing new. It's in the S1. They're our partners. We did a joint venture with them. We have product coming. We have equipment coming. And we'll be launching the product. So it's a great product. You've seen it. It's in the press releases. It's the actual CBD stick that goes inside either a tobacco product or a hemp cigarette or a marijuana cigarette. The interesting thing is that, what has transpired showing it at shows, we believe that is a retail product, which it is. It's a retail product. But what we've come to find out is that we believe it'll be much more for wholesale. So clients that are making pre-rolls the hundreds of thousands of guys who are making pre-rolls.
Yeah.
Instead of flavoring it or doing a D8 or an HHC, they'll be able to just take the stick, drop it in, and do it. It's going to make their life a lot easier. So we're excited. We're very excited about it. And so that's coming about. So you'll see us starting to market that. We've always been marketing it, but now after the IPO, we're kicking in the high gear.
And how about an update on Hbi Raw?
Yeah, so we just put one out. So I'm not saying anything that's out of school. They got a $9.2 million purchase order.
Correct.
Back in November, December. We've been making product. We've been putting out press releases first on the skunk product and then the juicy product, and more truckloads are rolling out. So that's what keeps us busy. We have to worry about supply chain. We have to worry about flavoring, paper, R&D, but we've been actively rolling, so it's not coming, it's here, we're doing it, and we continue to roll out product.
Green Star Labs, CBD topical products, CBD roll-ons and creams. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we announced that we acquired a 50% in a lab, Green Star Labs. It's doing awesome. That's part of the press releases that's going to be going out. We've selected and hired a new PR firm that's going to be putting out press releases. We have some great clients. Love to tell you who they are now, but I don't want to because that spoil the fun. But some of the best CBD brands in the world. And then we'll be sending out press releases with them.
Okay, and I need to know, when is the mint and mango real stuff coming out? I got a lot of questions about that.
Yes. So obviously we have the product. The R&D went through. We're changing the packaging a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to launch it in this quarter. Definitely launch it in this quarter.
Okay.
And it was really from a packaging standpoint. The product's excellent, but now we're going to change the packaging and launch it. So there'll be a press release. It'll go out on all the websites that we have. So
okay. The vending machines, where is the company with that? Obviously, there was a press release a while ago about 600, which you mentioned here, and numerous places you've been. What's the timeline on the rollout looking like? How many are actually in service now? And with that in mind, let me ask you, is it difficult to maintain them if there's mechanical issues, and how are they being filled?
Yeah, so there's a lot of answers to those questions.
I know. I'm sorry. I can break it down if you like.
We own 600 kiosks. The company owns 600 kiosks. That's in the S1.
Yes.
We've done several. We're testing things to see what works better and what doesn't work. So we've done certain joint ventures. So we have some in Tennessee. We have some in upstate New York. We have some. We're doing a big rollout in Louisiana. We're going to Miami in 2 weeks. We're going to be doing a rollout in Miami. So we're still testing what locations work. So we have some in malls, some in airports. Some are going to be going into casinos, strip clubs. We think the Holy Grail will be colleges. So we're looking for that. We're trying to bring in some smart people. So when we do a joint venture, it's easier because our partner then worries about the fulfillment of the products and everything. We do have a contract. We sent out a press release with the Pelican Group. So they're a nationwide company. They manage 55,000 vending machines. So if there's a problem with a machine, maintenance problem, within 24 hours, they can go out and fix it. They're trained under our SOPs, and they can fix the machine. Fulfilling the product, they fulfill product also. But our JV partners are the ones that do it. We are now putting together our master plan on how to roll out machines. Non-JV with our own products, our own brands like Hemp Hop, Rick Ross, Ching Chong, real stuff, put out our own machines. And that's what we're working. That was part of what the IPO was for.
Sandro, I got to ask you real quick, what's going on behind you? Are you like helping your kids with science homework?
No, this is our war room here. This is our conference room. And so our team, we have a bunch of chemists and different people that when they work on projects, there's a lot of math. And so is talking about the circumference of a cigarette and how much goes into it. And so a lot of brainiacs here. And so before we had one whiteboard and we would run out of space. And so now the whole conference room is Blackboard. And they work on it. So yes.
Looks like you're doing something for science for the kids. That's why I had to ask. Any new patents or trademarks coming down the line that anything you could announce?
All I can announce is we got some super cool technology coming that we're going to be announcing, and some really great trademarks. What we chose to do is wait till we actually get the approval. We could put the little TM on there, meaning that someone else doesn't have it.
Yeah.
So obviously we're excited, but until we get from the R, there's no reason for us to announce it.
Okay. I want to get into wholesale distribution. Obviously, you guys put out a press release and messages on social media that you guys are looking for retailers, you're looking for distributors. I'm going to put this in easy terms, and this could be right, could be completely wrong, but are you guys basically, when you put that out, looking for somebody with like a warehouse in southeastern U.S. to basically buy product from you and distribute it to the southeast region of the U.S. or the northeast or wherever? Is that what you guys are looking for?
Close, yeah. So all of our Jorge is very strategic, very intelligent when he writes the press releases and everything we do. One thing at the end of the day, all business is selling product and making gross margin, right? At the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. So we're looking for master distributors. There's 3 levels. There's master distributor, and then the retailer who then sells to the consumer, right?
Yes.
So the consumer has to want the product to come to a retailer. The retailer then buys from their distributor or master distributor, and then the distributor gets from the master distributor. So we're looking for warehouses, cash and carry, people that would deliver cigarettes, 5-hour energy, that type of thing. A master distributor, they have to buy a pallet per month. We give them marketing. We support them with POP displays, point of purchase. We supply them with leads. Any distributor who calls that, who only has to buy a case, then that distributor, we send them to the master distributor. So we're not sending out cases. We're sending out pallets at a time. And so every time we travel, like when we were in New York that week, we went and visited a distributor in Long Island to convince him to be our master distributor. We're getting there. The NAC show, they came back with tons of leads. They got to go close them now on being the master distributor. That doesn't stop us from, we have telemarketing. We have people, if a store in Oklahoma or a store near you in Manhattan wants to order cartons, we pick and pack cartons and ship them out. But that takes 2-3 days, and plus the cost of shipping. We'd rather have a distributor deliver to them.
Okay. And obviously, if they want to buy from you, they can go to therealstuffsmokables.com. They can go to your website. Obviously, I was there today. The Rick Raw stuff is there. Cheech and Chong stuff is there. There's some new stuff coming soon. But if they want to buy directly from you and they don't want to find a retailer or distributor locally, wherever they are, they can go to that website.
The best way from the consumer is to go online and order it. But if you're a store, a liquor store, you need to call, and then from there, we ship it out to you.
Let me ask you, we've all seen and we all follow Rick Ross. We all follow Cheech and Chong on social media. Are there plans for advertising to include commercials, maybe billboards at stadiums, print media, or social media that's not directly from them? Is there a plan for that in place?
There is a plan. Jorge and his team's working on it. So it would be commercials. This is basically to drive traffic for consumers to either build a brand, order on e-commerce, or drive traffic to stores. So as we're talking to chains or convenience store or smoke shops with 300, 400, or 500 stores, part of the plan is both of our partners would do commercials and say the product's available at XYZ.
Okay. Wait, I got a question. Are you guys looking to have a joint venture, or would you ever venture into the marijuana business? Obviously, we know what you guys are doing now, but would you get involved in marijuana?
Yeah. So as a publicly traded company in the United States, you're not allowed to. You can't touch the flower. So the answer is we don't say never. We just say when it's legal. So if this Congress, this president, this Senate were to make marijuana legal, then that's something we would look at, because now it's federally legal and you can do it. We are looking at licensing some of our technology to cannabis companies state by state. So some of our patents, some of our know-how, some of our machinery, instead of making a hemp cigarette, make a marijuana cigarette, but we as a company won't touch it.
Okay. Have you guys done any research into any beverages, whether it be CBD or hemp flavored? Now, I got to say, when I first started this podcast a year and a half ago, I had a guy on who was in the water business, and he did a hemp flavored water. I haven't spoken to him in a year and a half, but is that something you guys have done research on? Is it something you would get involved in? Is there maybe a connection I can make for you, and you guys can talk to him about it? Is that something you guys are looking into?
Yeah, so from Hempacco standpoint, that is not disrupting tobacco, so we are not looking at it.
Okay.
Jorge, if anyone's done any research on Jorge, he's written the Bible on how to build a beverage empire. So he's a top-notch consultant, speaker on how to build a beverage empire. And so from our Green Star, we have talked to people that want different drinks, energy drinks, and we would make it for them. But as a company, it's been done before. It's expensive to ship around water. So I'm not a big fan. I'd rather ship our smokables all over the world than shipping water all over the world. So
okay. Hempacco is 81% owned by GGII, like you said before. Now, I get the question, and this is the crazy math, I guess, that these guys are thinking about on Twitter every day, but should the market cap of HPCO be 80% of the market cap of GGII in a perfect world? Listen, I know it's crazy to think about it because there's other stuff involved in GGII besides Hempacco.
Yeah, GGI should be more, but obviously, as the CEO of Hempacco, I'm not happy today where the stock price is of Hempacco, considering that we did a $6 million raise. From what we understand from the investment banker, they had indications of $30 million. So more people wanted the IPO. And then when it came out, it shot up to $42.
Yes.
Now you can say, hey, that's too high or not. That's everyone's opinion. And then but then the Nasdaq put a circuit breaker on it, and it hung around at $15. We've hired some people who do this for a living, research. We have about a 50% short position every day, which is very high, very high for that. So, I think the calculations were done when we came out at a pre-money $100 million valuation. That's where it should be. But, the market dictates where it needs to be. So if it's at 250 or 220 or 280 today, that's what the market decided, and so on. But even look at GGII 3 weeks ago, pre the IPO, it was trading at $0.015, $0.01.06.
Yep.
Why it's at where it is today, none of us have a crystal ball, so we can't answer those questions.
Let me ask you, the restricted share count for GGII, are those becoming unrestricted anytime soon? And if they are, is that all in one shot? Is that something that happens on a timeline based on when they got locked up? Can you inform us about that?
Yeah. So what was in the float when we acquired GGII was approximately 3.5 billion, 3.6 billion, something like that. Our acquisition, when it acquired Hempacco at the time, that majority of those shares would not become into the float until at least May of 2023. But the majority of that shares are with insiders. So board members, people that own more than 10%, our families, things like that. So it will not come out all at one time if that's what anyone's worried about. And I know everyone's worried about the share structure, but still today we're at 3.6 billion, 3.7 billion, which we've had runs up of, as I said, 3 weeks ago to 1.6, 1.7 cents. That's the float. And the rest is locked up.
That's my next question. Some people brought up the outstanding and unrestricted share counts in the past few months have gone up. Has that just been the cost of doing business, or is there other stuff? Deals maybe coming that you can't talk about. Is that what that is?
No, there was there's normal course of business where shares are issued. There's normal course that it was in at 144 from 10 years ago, and then they got it unrestricted. They got an opinion letter. I know that we're settling an old lawsuit from 10 years ago, and we settled it in shares. So it's a normal course of business. I didn't get any of the shares. None of the board member got any of the shares. So normal course of business. And, I've seen tech tweets when people are freaking out, but I don't think there's anything to freak out about. So
obviously,
very small percentage of the float and a very small percentage of the outstanding shares.
Obviously, the idea of a reverse split comes up every time I tweet about this. Is Is that still a no for you guys? Is there a scenario where maybe GGII shares can be converted into HPCO shares? Is that even possible?
No.
Okay.
It's not possible. GGII, its own publicly traded company.
Okay.
It owns several subsidiaries. The strategy was to take one of the subsidiaries public on the Hempacco to the Nasdaq, and maybe others in the future. So 2 separate things. You can be a shareholder of Hempacco and you can be a shareholder of GGII, and it's 2 separate things. A reverse split. Right now, one of our goals is to get to OTCQB. We were ready to file 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. Everything in place. That pesky, we need the shares to be trading at over a penny for 30 days.
That's my next question.
That's our goal. That's our goal. And, I could put in the application and pay the fee, but they're not going to allow us until we have 30 days over a penny.
So you guys need to trade you need to trade or you need to close above a penny for 30 straight trading days. Is that how that works?
You need to close above a penny yes.
Okay. Okay. It's not that it can go into a penny and then back down for 30 straight days. It needs to be closed at a penny or above, for anybody wondering. Can you provide us with any kind of roadmap or early guidance? If not, but I don't know if you can. If you can't, when will financials for both companies be released?
Yeah, so you just closed the quarter, September 30th. For sure, they'll be out by November 15th, that I could tell you. It will be on time, and it could be sooner, but let's call it November 15th for now. And of course, I cannot give any guidance.
Okay, and I got to ask you, the Padres are playing the Mets. You're obviously in beautiful, sunny San Diego. I grew up a Met fan, but I've kind of, hockey's my thing now, but I still dabble in some baseball. I got a friendly wager idea for you. The Mets are playing the Padres. If the Mets or Padres win, the loser of that bet, meaning you're taking the Padres and taking the Mets, the loser will buy the winner lunch or dinner next time we're together, whether I'm in California, which I'm trying to get out there in April, or the next time you're in New York. We'll do dinner, lunch on the loser. Is that a fair bet?
It'll be a fair. It has to be New York style pizza. So you have to.
I'll take you to the best New York style pizza that we offer. Absolutely.
You'll have to. Yeah, you'll be buying us New York style pizza. So that's a good bet. Or when you come out, I'll take you for fish tacos. That's what we're famous for here in San Diego.
That works. I'm working on something for next April coming out to California. Nothing final yet, but if it does come to fruition, I'll let you know. Next time we're together, obviously, we'll settle that. But let's go Mets. Sandro,
great game. We were just at a Padre game Monday. So it was great. And then today, the city asked all the schools, everyone wore their Padres to school today. So it was a big hoopla here in San Diego. Beautiful.
One question in the chat, obviously we just addressed. I don't know if they missed it, but the question was, will there be a reverse split? Sandro did say no. They're not looking to do that. That's a no. So just to address the chat.
Right.
Sandro, I can't thank you enough. The time for everything. Good luck to you. Good luck to the company. Stay safe. I again, thank you for the whole Nasdaq experience. It was unbelievable for me. I get choked up talking about it because it's not something the average ordinary person experiences, and to experience that with you guys, that was great.
It was tremendous. It was so great. And you know what we were thinking? We're all thinking to ourselves, we did the closing bell, which was spectacular. We had the party and everything after. It wouldn't have been as fun if we did the opening bell.
Well, then you have the whole day to hang out and do whatever.
I don't think it would have been the same. I'm just trying to.
It wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been. It would have definitely been different. It's early in the morning.
That's right.
Okay, so the stock symbols are GGII on the OTC pink sheets. It's HPCO on the Nasdaq. You can follow Sandro at Sandro Piancone1. You can follow Jorge Olson at Jorge Olson. You can follow Hempacco at Hempacco to purchase products and check out their Real Stuff Smokables. It's realstuffsmokables.com. Sandro, thanks a lot for everything. We'll be in touch.
Gary, I got one thing to tell you. I forgot that we do have a fun promotion going on, right?
Okay.
On smokable.com to congratulate the company and to let everyone know about Nasdaq. If you go in and you use the code HPCO, you buy one, you get one free. So it's 50% off on any of It's there, but you got to use HPCO. We're trying to get that in everyone's brain.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much. We'll talk soon, Sandro. Thank you. All right, guys, there you have it. That was a one-on-one interview with Sandro. Every question that was submitted to the Twitter for the E.A.T podcast and at Jerry with the Mic was answered, was asked. The next question that we just had late as Sandro signed off was, when will quarterly financials be out? Sandro did say financials will be out roughly November 15th, about. So the quarter just closed a week ago on the 30th of September. It does take some time to gather all the information and put everything together. So roughly November 15th, we will see financials. I'm going to bring Russ on now. Russ is finally here. We're going to get into our sports. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
What's up?
How are you?
Good. I'm getting 8 million fucking texts for the Mets game.
Well, you just heard the bet we made with Sandro. So next time he's in New York, or if you or both of us are out in San Diego, the loser is buying the winner a meal.
Good luck with that one.
I'm actually looking to get out there in April.
Say that now until the bill comes and it's
No. He said New York pizza, or fish tacos. So if the Mets do choke, which does happen, I won't be getting clobbered. I won't be getting clobbered overhead.
Shut the fuck up for a minute. Saying your ass better not take him to Sbarro's.
No. He wants real New York pizza. So I was thinking
Lavera Pizza on 46th and 2nd.
I was thinking Joe's, favorite. Carmine and 6th. I like Joe's.
What?
Joe's Pizza, Carmine and 6th. You got to look that up.
Yeah, if it's near 6th Avenue, it's by all the
No, it's downtown. It's downtown. No, it's not like that. It's downtown. Small little place, probably the size of like a closet. And it's not Dollar Pizza either. All right, so obviously the Major League Baseball playoffs started today. We had some action already, but we are going to do our Major League Baseball playoff preview. Obviously we have our winners already. It's not going to change who we're picking based on the games that have already been played out. But Russ, you got in the American League, the Rays, and the Guardians. I can't believe it. It's not the Indians, it's the Guardians.
Fucking stupid Guardians. That's the Commanders. I can't stand it. Listen, you want to be offended by the other names? I'm fine with it. Whatever it is, what it is. But I don't know. The Guardians. I can't take that serious. It sounds like a minor league team.
It does. It sounds like independent league, like Bull Durham. So who do you like? Obviously, it's a 2 out of 3 series. All the games will be in Cleveland. Who do you like going into this?
It's tough. Rays are, they're both really good teams at this point. The Rays are now pretty much an experienced playoff team. It's a lot of the guys, same people there, and they both play good small ball. They both pitch well, and I think Cleveland had a good bounce back. Terry Francona is probably going to win Manager of the Year, and I got a soft
against
spot.
him.
I got a soft spot for the Rays, so I'd like to see them win it. They came close against the Dodgers. Who the fuck did they lose to? Was it the Dodgers or the Royals?
When?
I don't know. Wasn't it
the Rays? The Rays were in the World Series. What, the year before? Obviously, Astros were there. What, last year?
Okay, call me crazy, but didn't the Royals win like 3 years ago or 4 years ago?
The Royals beat the Mets in what, 2015?
Oh yeah, that's right. My head's. Listen, I got things going on. All right, my head's lost. I got Mr. Met behind me and fucking Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I see that.
Call me an idiot. That was a bonehead move. That's fucking right.
The Rays have been to the World Series in 2008 and 2020. They didn't win either time.
Fuck, they played in 08. What?
Nothing. I was just laughing at the audio inside my head from the Rays Guardians game that was on today. Just had something going on in here. But all right, so you're picking the Rays because you got a soft spot for them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Me being different than you, I'll just go with the Guardians because why not? It's Terry Francona. Guy's proven he's done it time and time again. It's going to be a good series, though. Moving on, you have the
proven schmoven. My balls are proven to stink after a good squat workout, but still doesn't. Listen, proven means nothing these days. Be proven fucking 20 times, you still can lose.
I gotta say, when you did the baseball preview show back at the beginning of this year, all of you guys were on the Toronto Blue Jays bandwagon for running away with the AL East and running away with the AL and possibly a World Series. Do you still feel that way today?
Well, I mean, obviously that they got shut out at home.
Yes.
Stop. They got shut out at home, so obviously they got a big, it's a do or die game, game 2. But I don't know. Got to get their bats going.
Yeah.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went 0 for 3, and nobody did shit for them. And Eugenio Suarez fucking had a couple RBIs today. And listen, what are you gonna do? It's win or die now.
Listen, they had huge expectations. All games are in Toronto, and they're behind 1-0 now in the series. The series could be over after the next game, obviously. But going into this, I would have picked the Blue Jays just based on how big of a year they were supposed to have. You figure maybe in the playoffs they would put it together. Moving on to the NL, I'll leave the Mets for last, but the Phillies and Cardinals, I'm telling you, I would have said the Cardinals off the bat, and it looked that way today up until the end of the game where Philly scored, 6 runs?
Yeah, can't score 6. You can't allow 6 in the ninth, 2-0 lead, you got to slam the door, especially, them being at home, you got to, now you're same thing as the Blue Jays, they were expected to win, and shit the bed, 6 runs in the ninth, I know a certain Cardinals fan that's been on the show before that.
Yes.
Not too happy today.
I have not been on Twitter to see what his comments were, but I can only imagine.
Although I should say I don't think he's that pissed because I know that he thinks with his brain rather than his heart when it comes to money. So I'm pretty sure there was a bet on the Phillies there, which I think is probably sacrilegious. But
yeah, but you got to say when he's watching them and they're up 2-0 late in the game, he's got to think that the money or the game is over at this point, and then all of a sudden, bang, putting up a 6 spot. Can't be too settling for you. Now, finally, let's get to the series that you and I are both going to be watching for obvious reasons. The Mets and the San Diego Padres. So, is this a foregone conclusion, or do you think this is going to be a difficult journey for the Mets?
It's the fucking Mets. It's difficult. It's going to be freaking. It's going to tug at the heartstrings. They're going to give you hope. They're going to let you down. Then they're going to give you hope again, and they're going to come back and. All that's going to happen. All that's going to happen in a 3-game series.
I gotta say, tonight you have Max Scherzer. That game is about to start in about 25 minutes or so. You got Max Scherzer and Yu Darvish, which is a heck of a pitching matchup. Listen, Darvish could pitch lights out. The Mets, their bats can go quiet, and they can be behind 1-0 real quick.
So can Max.
True.
Can Max. But yes, if it was Mets anything, we'd probably get shut out at home 1-0. Yu Darvish would throw a fucking no-hitter or a perfect game, and that would be the most Mets game won. And then you're forced to use DeGrom, which my understanding is that they're going to pitch Max game 1 if they win. Oh, excuse me. They're going to pitch Max game 1. If they win, they're going to go Bassett game 2. And if they lose, then they'll go game 3, DeGrom. But if they win game 1 and game 2, it's over. And then DeGrom starts game 1 in LA. 2 sides to this. Yes. I love that idea, but I also hate that idea. I love it for the fact of if it works, it's great. But you need to concentrate on winning the series first. So, me personally, you win game 1.
You're looking ahead already when you shouldn't be.
Yeah, if you win game, I get the idea, and it's not wrong, but you win game 1, go close the fucking door game 2.
Yeah,
don't let them give a chance to have a win. Those are your 2 aces. Slam the door, get a couple days rest, and go from there.
You got Scherzer and Darvish tonight. That could go either way. Tomorrow, the Mets have not announced it. Like you just said, it's going to be Bassett or DeGrom. Listen, the Padres are putting Blake Snell out there. Didn't that guy win a Cy Young for the Tampa Bay Rays a few years ago, and then they traded him off to San Diego?
I do believe he did.
So, I mean, that's not a cakewalk for those two pitchers that you're facing, game 1 and game 2.
No, it's not. You know,
It's
and
not.
Still a hell of a lineup.
The Mets bats were quiet in Atlanta the last series before last against the Nationals.
But
Obviously,
we do get the return of Marte tonight.
yes. But he's
And
battling. He's dealing with recovering from the hand injury, right?
Whatever the fuck it was. But he's by far our best contact hitter. And, you know, the ability of him to get on base as leadoff is huge with us. You know,
him and Nimmo at the top of that lineup. If they can both get on base, then obviously,
you put runners on for Lindor or Pete. You know, you got a chance at a couple runs as opposed to the numerous solo home runs we saw Pete hit throughout the year.
You know, I would think that the Mets need to obviously be aware of Manny Machado on this team. And you got Darvish, Snell, and it's not announced yet, but I would say Musgrove could be your number 3. So, I mean, they got 3 solid pitchers coming at you. The Mets bats have to be awake for this series. They have to be. If they're not, it's over. Good night.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the ways that how the Mets are going to Mets this up, you know.
It's not the Wilpons, though. You got to remember that. It's not the Wilpons anymore.
I don't care. It's still the fucking Mets. It needs to be several years of winning and things different to get out of still, you know, the most Mets things ever. I don't know why. The shirt bothers me. I feel like I'm fucking disheveled.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough. And
I mean, listen, if there was a fucking parlay bet out there before the season started, you know, of 101 wins and we still wouldn't win the division, I would have loved to have fucking taken it.
Yeah, that's got to be the most. I guess I'm going to use the word depressing, but that's going to be the most depressing thing for a Met fan. 101 wins, you don't win the division.
3rd or 4th best record in baseball, and we don't win the division.
But listen, the Mets are going to deal with Atlanta for the next decade, the way that team is built. They're going to just have to outspend them. That's the plan for one of the richest owners in all of sports. All right, moving on. We'll cover more baseball as the playoffs progress, obviously. But obviously, our team, the Rangers, starting up on Tuesday night. How do you like the moves they made in the offseason? They got rid of Vetrano. They got rid of Nemeth. They got rid of Strome. They brought in Kravtsov from the KHL. They signed Vinny Trocheck. They, they brought in a backup with Halak for Georgiev.
I look at it a couple ways.
Okay.
Trocheck is an upgrade over Strome.
Yes.
The numbers are a little less, but he may get a bump in numbers by playing with Panarin. However, he is far, far superior in the faceoff circle, which we've been lacking for a long time. And he is far superior in the hitting category. It doesn't take a crazy amount of penalties. So it tells me he knows how to hit people without hitting them dirty. Kravtsov, we're going to say this is his chance.
Yes.
Kakko, same thing. I think this is their make or break year. Either get shit or get off the pot. I will say this though: are we a better team right now than we were at the playoffs last year with Vetrano, Kopp, and them? No, we are not. But we are a better team now than we were at the start of last year.
Okay.
I would have
all those deals that made the deadline.
I would have liked to have kept Mott for that 4th line. I don't totally understand some of the small bringing back Leiber. He fucking sucks. Bringing back, keeping Gauthier there and the small amount of money that Mott took. It wasn't like years ago when I got mad that we left. What's his face? Fighter, little fucking guy. I loved him.
Avery.
Of course I love Avery. Yeah, Avery. He was Boyle's fucking best friend. Boyle fell apart after we let him go.
Why am I drawing a blank on this?
Name? On the spot now. I'm drawing a blank. He went to Montreal.
I don't know. Oh, Prust.
I really love Prust, but that situation, he got a huge bump in pay of what he, more than he was worth. Mott, what do you get? 1 point? And we couldn't have afforded that for what he brings on the 4th line. But not even that. What he brings in the penalty kill, his size, his speed, his forechecking. For that price was, to me, that's unbelievable value. And, it kind of pissed me off we didn't bring back Mott, but, we bring in Carpenter, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the Trocheck move was good. And I think for right now, we're a better team right now than we were at the beginning of last year.
So right now the Rangers have $1 million in cap space.
Yeah, we couldn't have saved fucking $800,000 somewhere else and just kept fucking Mott. Eat a dick.
What are your thoughts on the Nils Lundquist trade to Dallas? I think it was genius.
Beautiful. He wasn't cracking the top four. I don't think we got a chance here, and it's not his fault that Listen, all right, he didn't blow the world away in his first month here, whatever, and it is what it is. Jones and Schneider stepped up. It was just a matter of opportunity. I don't really think it was so much the way Nils played. I think he just didn't light the world on fire. He made some mistakes, understandable, and it just happened that Jones and Schneider slowly worked their way in there. And I don't, you got to look at it as you got a young core D there really coming up.
You do. I mean, Keandre Miller's going to get paid. Zachary Jones, if he has a good year, is going to get paid. They're both RFA at the end of the year.
I think this is where we're going to get screwed. This is where we're going to get screwed, these huge contracts, because I wouldn't put it out of the realm of Keandre Miller, not necessarily getting Norris votes, but I think he took an enormous step up last year that he really became a wonderful defenseman and started to use his side and his speed and started to look a lot more comfortable. And being that we have, was it fucking 40 million or almost 40 million over 4 players between Trouba, Panarin, Mika, and Fox, we're going to have problems with signing people. And the Shesterkin contract is looking fucking great at this point.
It's looking like
three more years and 5 million. That's a steal. But that's the thing is, this is their window, because you're not going to be able to afford. You're not going to be able to afford Keandre Miller, Lafreniere, and if Kakko breaks out or Cap, they're all going to have to get re-signed real soon. And if any one of them really breaks out this year, legitimate, look at what's his face in the Devils, Hughes. He's starting to really play really well, but look at the contract he got.
They locked him up. Big money real quick.
These contracts are getting crazy. And I think he definitely took a huge step and is turning into a phenomenal player, as he should. Shit. What if one of our either Laugh or Kakko, which are those high picks, what if one of them break out? What kind of contract are they going to get? We're not going to be able to afford it regardless. I know most people are probably higher on Lafreniere, but he looks to be more complete player. Kakko, I think Kakko's problem is just absolute confidence. That's about it. He's got the skill. He had a beautiful breakaway the other night, but we ain't gonna be able to afford this shit in 2 years, and people don't understand that. We're gonna have to make some hard decisions, and we're gonna be not stuck with Fox and Mika and Panarin and Trouba, but we just made Trouba captain. I think he had a phenomenal year last year. He was the Trouba that we traded for, and but I laugh people blame him because we lost. He did kind of single-handedly lose Game 5 for us against Tampa, but that's the reason that you don't want him to be captain or that we should trade him, because of one fucking game. Other than that, he was fucking phenomenal. It was a goddamn freight train on skates.
He was, and the Rangers said they thought about making him the captain last year, but decided against it, and they went with all the alternates that they had. And now everybody went with it.
Kreider should have been captain. Kreider should have been captain. I would have been fine with that too, but again, nobody fucking knows what goes on behind the scenes.
No, nobody knows.
I thought Craig McKegg should have been captain, but that's the thing is we don't know. Kreider looks so friendly, and maybe he's just maybe behind the scenes he's just him and Mika just make out after every game. They love each other, and they just keep to themselves, and who knows? And but again, there's a reason that Trouba is captain. Okay, all these people crying and bitching about it. I don't know why. I just went on a crazy rant here.
You did. It's fine,
but. All these people bitching about Trouba being, you don't fucking know what goes on behind the scenes. Yep. And, in the end, the players, the team, they spoke, and, I'm excited. I'm scared. I don't know. My Colts suck. The fucking Mets are going to Mets their way out of the playoffs. I don't know what's going to happen.
We'll get into football in a second. Hey, I got to tell you, when you're talking contract extension with Laugh, Ottawa just signed Tim Stützle to an extension. Did you see what he got as a 20-year-old player? He's got one more year left.
On a side note, I still don't. Half the fucking people pronounce his name Stützle,
whatever, Schnitzel, whatever it is.
Fucking Jaeger Schnitzel. He's a good little player. He is a good little player, though.
But
I know he got paid. I don't know what he got.
It's 8.3 a year, Russ, starting next year. There's no way Laff is coming in anywhere near that. The Rangers don't have that cap space for next year.
You're not going to afford it. So that's what I'm saying. That this is the problem. If he breaks out, even if Kakko breaks out, I don't see him getting the contract that Laff. I feel like a lot of people are higher on Laff breaking out, and I think he has looked definitely more solid and more becoming more of a complete player. Do either of them look like a number 1 or number 2 pick? No, they do not.
No, they do not.
But Laff looks better as the more sustainable keeper down the line.
The Islanders extended Barzell to a monster deal for him, making just over $9 million a year. So he's going to be a pest for the Rangers for the next 9 years.
On our side, he really is a great player. Even though we fucking shit on the Islanders, he really is a great player. I do think that he needs to step up a little more from last year, but they're going to be dangerous. And everybody's got this.
They got a new coach. We don't know what's going to happen.
I still don't think Barry Trotman. That was atrocious. They started their first 80 million games out west on the craziest fucking road trip ever.
Yep.
And got smoked with some injuries, and you got to fucking throw that on. It was dumb. They're a good team, but problem is everyone's high on how great Shesterkin is, and he fucking is. I love the kid. As a goalie, I fucking love him. And the way he responded after getting shelled in Pittsburgh showed so much character that he didn't cower, and he came back and he started to be on point. But people don't realize how good fucking Sorkin is.
He is
Ilya
good.
Sorkin is just as fucking – I can't say just as nasty yet, but he's going to be. He's almost close up there. The rankings have him in the top 5, and that kid, his numbers in Russia were just right there with fucking Igor's. And that kid is very good as well. And this is going to be the year that he's really taking over that role from Semyon Varlamov. So, if he turns out anything like Shesterkin, which he's already getting close, they're going to be dangerous for a long time as well. Because if you have a goalie that's going to play a lot of nights and keep you in a game, which I think they really haven't, they've always had these duos for a while. But if you had this one guy they can rely on and they get their act together, they're going to be a fucking thorn in our side.
It's going to be a problem. That's a guy that's going to steal the show night in and night out.
Fucking Devils, I'm not worried about. They fucking suck balls. Fuck. Oh, they're up and coming. But if Hughes gets, Hughes has already got it going. If they can put some pieces together, but I don't fear them like I worry about the Islanders. They're pretty good.
Yeah,
and I think Torts and Philly might do a good job. I have a soft spot for Philly. Don't fucking hate me, but if I wasn't a Ranger fan, I'd probably be a Flyers fan. I don't know why.
I gotta say that just the Devils, obviously they went out and got the Capitals goalie, right? Vanacek. That's where they're going with.
Yeah, Vitek Vanacek.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's a wild card. You don't know how good or bad he's going to be. Is he really going to be able to handle the whole load, or is he going to split it with Mackenzie Blackwood? And if that's the case, the goalie question is obviously a big one for the Devils. Their offense, I'm not worried about. Their offense is going to score goals. It's their defense and their goalie that's going to.
Yeah, they got some good people. You got Sharon Gofish over there, and what do you call it? I heard somebody say
the team goes as Hughes goes. Obviously, we all know that.
Yeah, but I heard somebody say that little nickname for Sharon Govich, and I was like, I gotta fucking go with that. Sharon Gofish.
I gotta say, Philly, team.
Philly, I might be worried about though, only because I think they have the talent. I think they just had like an ungodly bad year. And bringing in Torts just has an affinity for getting the most out of teams. But in the long run, they eventually that love affair wears out and everybody fucking ends up hating them. But
listen, Pittsburgh reloaded all their free agent stars. Washington is Washington. Obviously, they brought in Darcy Kemper to be their goalie with Vanacek leaving.
Yeah, I think Darcy's solid. Obviously, he won the cup. But I don't think he's I don't think he's that great.
No, but those two teams are dangerous. You got Torts now in Philly. You got the Islanders who have their team with a new coach you don't know. Columbus added Johnny Gaudreau. Carolina is Carolina. The division is not going to be easy for the Rangers. It's not. Obviously the two wild cards come into play, but it's going to be a tough go around in that division. It's the best division in hockey.
David Krejci came back to Boston up there.
I got to tell you, as we talk about the Atlantic real quick, I am very excited to see what Ottawa does this year. They added a boatload of talent to that team.
They added Giroux. You got veteran leadership. You still got good face-offs. He still put up decent numbers.
Yep.
You know, you got your Kachuk there, and was it Brady? Matthew was in Calgary. Now he's in Florida, right? Yeah.
Yes. And then you added DeBrincat from Chicago.
That's right. They added Alex DeBrincat. That was huge for them. They might actually. But then
again, you got Cam Talbot and Anton Forsberg as your two goalies right now. So I mean,
Talbot, yes and no. Talbot's out for a little bit, but yeah. I don't. That might be their downfall.
Might be the goalies. But I'm telling you, they're going to be excited, and obviously they signed Tyler Mott. That upsets both of us, being the Ranger fans that we are.
Yeah, you got role players there. You got some. I think they'll probably surprise people.
Yeah, they're going to be in the mix for a wild card.
It's kind of funny the way. Obviously they didn't go anywhere after they traded Carlson, but it's kind of funny how they traded Carlson for everything, and everybody fucking tanked. They fucking basically didn't do much with what they got from Carlson, and then at the same time, Carlson himself just died in San Jose. He's not even considered a top defenseman anymore. He used to be putting up crazy numbers, and now you wouldn't even know he was fucking there.
I know. And then out west, obviously, it's the same old story. You're going to have in the Central, the returning champs, Colorado. They're ready to go.
I think it doesn't matter really who's for them. That's one team. I don't think it matters who's in that.
Right?
You got Georgiev, and for us, we saw Georgie. If Georgie played a bunch of games in a row, he actually played pretty well. Him not starting for a while, he played like dog shit. So
yes,
it could go either way. If he becomes consistent. And more sharing the load out there and plays more consistently, it could be that deal could be very, very good for them, and they could easily repeat.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you got Arizona playing in front of 5,000 people a night in college. I don't know what's going on there, but that's going to be the setup for a couple of years.
The ticket prices are insane. Half of me is like, hey, they're going to sell out that. Who the hell's going to want to pay those prices?
Yeah, college kids aren't paying that. Obviously, Chicago's in the middle of a rebuild. Where do you think Kane and Taves are going if they're going anywhere? I would think they have to get traded, right?
Yes, they have to get traded. They can't afford those. You're seeing what happened with monstrous contracts, having two players on the team.
Yep.
And of course, two things. Everyone would say, "Oh, well, they won, whatever."
They won 3 in 5 years.
Yeah, they won 3 cups. However, they didn't get the money until after they won the cups.
Correct.
However, if you told me that we were going to win 3 cups and then fucking kill our cap for a bunch of years,
sign me up.
I'm fine with that.
Sign me up.
However, I think we've killed our cap and we haven't won the cups yet as a Ranger fan.
We've gotten close.
Close, but no cigars. All right. Hand grain. What was it? Horseshoes and hand grains. And it's a nice bocce ball.
Obviously, also you got Dallas out there, Minnesota.
Minnesota keeping Fleury was big for them, but they were already doing really well with Talbot. I think they're still a solid team. Where did fucking hot dog Phil Kessel go?
Vegas.
I saw the other. Did he go to Vegas?
Vegas, who, by the way, Russ
had a hot dog cake made for his birthday the other day.
Their goalie situation is.
Okay.
Logan Thompson is starting for them. I don't know.
They fucked up the Fleury thing. They never should have let go of Fleury. I do like Robin Lehner. I just think the mental bat. I think Robin Lehner probably never should have left the island.
Yep, I agree.
It was a huge help for him mentally, battling his demons and the issues that he was going through. Mm-hmm. And I think it's been nothing but fighting with people on Twitter, defending himself.
Yep.
The rift with Fleury. Not necessarily that they had a rift, but what management caused.
Yes.
And now the injuries, it's become an absolute nightmare for them. And the way management has handled things, I honestly rooted for the fuck out of them the first 2 years. I love the resurgence of Fleury. I thought it was, a lot of people hated them because they were, gifted a really good team, that the format changed. But something about them, they were fun to watch. But now, I don't know what the fuck the way they've done things, adding the ICO and then all the long-term IR with Pacioretty and all of them, and just, I don't know, they became like, it's not them, it's the GM. I really want to punch this motherfucker in the face because I feel like they haven't been in the league that long and he already ruined them and made so many people fucking hate them simply because, and I fucking hate this camera. Every time I go to adjust something, I do the wrong side because I'm fucking looking at the thing. I turn my hat. That's like backing up a tractor trailer. You do right, and your fucking shit goes left.
Hey, Russ, I gotta say, Vegas, when they first built that team, everyone was like, "Oh, they're gonna be horrible." They got to the finals. Then they're like, "All right, this team is built with all the draft picks they accumulated and everything they did in the expansion draft, and to avoid picks and picking certain people." You know where I'm going with this. Look at what they've dealt away the last several years, and they've gotten nothing for it back. That team, I don't know how the GM is still in place. They wrote the book on how to mess up an expansion team after they wrote the book on how to be a great expansion team.
They fucked up to who's the Russian kid they traded and the trade got rescinded, and they traded him to Arizona, and then it was in this past season.
Oh, who was that?
Let's go to the videotape.
Was that William Karlsson?
No. Although it's funny, they William Karlsson had fucking five, whatever the hell it was, fucking 8 or 9 goals or 5 goals, and they picked him up and he scores fucking 41, and then
Yes.
He looks so promising, and then he hasn't, hasn't done that much. I think he's been decent, but he hasn't been. I'm looking it up now as we speak here.
Yeah, so am I. Oh, they would have sent Dadonov.
Yes.
But it was voided. He was going to Anaheim because he had a no trade list that apparently they didn't know about.
Oh, yeah, that they, not to them, but in his previous trade, I don't fucking know. Something like that. In his previous contract that he was traded from. Okay.
And then he ended up getting moved anyway. He's not on the team anymore. They got rid of him.
Yeah, where the fuck did he go?
He go to Montreal.
I'm excited to see this number 1 pick in Montreal. This Slaver, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah,
Slaver
from Montreal.
Okay.
Slafkovsky, you're talking about, the number 1 pick.
Slaver, sure.
All right. Moving on just to the Pacific. Obviously, Edmonton's going to do Edmonton things. Calgary's, going to do their thing. They reloaded. They just signed Weegar to an extension today. Obviously, Tkachuk is gone. They brought in Kadri.
They replaced it with Huberdeau, so it's not exactly.
They brought in Huberdeau.
It's not exactly a loss there, and they got Markstrom, who's excellent.
Yes.
I do laugh though. There was a thing about I guess they interviewed Huberdeau and what the GM there in Florida, whoever his name is, I forgot, said when he told me he was traded. Apparently, he just said "fuck you" and hung up the phone. Yeah, it's got to be interesting to be traded when you don't expect it or you don't want it and you want to stay where you are, and somebody just ups and fucking trades you. Like, eat a fucking dick.
It's a business. But again, yeah, you get blindsided. I got to say, Edmonton is $7.5 million over the cap right now, with no end in sight on how they're going to fix this, and the season starts for them within a couple of days. I mean. Ken Holland asleep at the wheel.
on a side note, I saw a great fucking exchange the other day, and it said the U.S. moves its carriers off the coast of South Korea, and somebody wrote, "What does this mean in hockey terms?" And it said, "Imagine 03 Scott Stevens waiting for Paul Kariya to enter the neutral zone." If anyone doesn't know what happened, Scott Stevens fucking lays
you out.
Fucking, hit Paul Correa with like a fucking. He was Lawrence Taylor going for his head.
Yeah, he's laid. He was known for laying out a bunch of those hits.
Yes.
Eric Lindros was on the receiving end of a few of those.
Yep. Listen, a lot of people hate fucking Scott Stevens. I know a couple people even called him a fraud, but I don't know. I fucking love that guy. That guy was a ridiculous fucking monster and backbone to the Devils defense. I'm pretty sure Marty Brodeur probably sucked his dick a couple times.
So obviously out west, Calgary, Edmonton.
2 more minutes. Sanders is starting. They're gonna fucking break my heart again.
The rest of that division for that third spot is up as anyone's guess.
Hey,
Vancouver.
Turn the fucking YouTube off and turn the Mets game on. Let's
fucking. I ain't
let's go
watching
Mets.
Ryan.
And finally, Russ, let's get into football.
Review.
Let's get into football real quick. What's going on with the Colts?
They apparently won the sucky ass face fucking award last night. In the ultimate suck face in the world, and apparently people won money on saying there was no touchdowns in the game.
Who would bet that? What? Why are you betting no touchdowns in a game like that?
People bet crazy shit. Some guy on Twitter before the game said, "Oh, the Mets game, baseball." Some guy in Twitter, Colts Twitter world, was like, "All right, here comes fucking. Let's go watch the great Colts 12-9 win before the game even fucking started." I went to bed.
Really?
Yeah, I went to bed at fucking half. It was 6-3. I was like, Jesus Christ! I couldn't take it anymore. It was just a sloppy, just shit fest.
Field goal.
I did like the quip of Russell Wilson in the post game after leaving the podium, going, "Broncos country, let's ride." Like, just really? Yeah, that man looks so. Listen, that man looks so sad. I saw today people saying Ciara should go back to the future.
Yeah, everyone said, new home in Denver. Everything's going to be
he
all
looks
roses.
fucking sad. And listen, Matt Ryan looks fucking sad. And I didn't expect him to come in and throw 350 yards and 4 TDs. But I expected a solid game manager, 200, 250 yards, a TD or two, and just manage a game. Granted, our offensive line played phenomenal, for Phillip Rivers 2 years ago. And what do you call it? Now, all of a sudden, last night, first off, we started rookie tackle. It allows three holding penalties in the first half. And we haven't given Matt Ryan a lot of time, so it's not all Matt's fault. But when we have given Matt Ryan time, he looks fucking terrible. However, we went into the fucking offseason needing a right tackle, a right guard. We let Gowinski go to the Giants. I think that's where he went. And we needed a left tackle. Nope, we can do everything to the draft. Same thing with receivers. Now, Alex Pierce had a phenomenal game last night. And he worked his way as a rookie to a number 2 receiver. It's fine. But after that, we got fucking Dick. Ashton Doolin, fucking Patman. Like, we couldn't have signed T.Y. to a tiny fucking minuscule, bottom of the barrel contract just to add a we have no depth at receiver. And then
you know what? As you say that, Odell Beckham visits the Giants. Would you want Odell on the Colts?
At this point, I wouldn't give a shit. At this point, give me Odell can play slot receiver or number 2 and let Pierce play slot receiver. It'd be a distraction all he wants at this point because it would cause some, I think he could do some damage because there is no depth. Ashton Doolin, nice kid, blah. Paris Campbell, nice kid, blah. But they're really outside of Pittman. We really have no true weapons at receiver. Now, again, Pierce is a rookie. He's had a couple nice games. It might go somewhere in the future, sure. I don't feel like my fucking phone just...
You're fine.
My phone just sounded like it took a fucking picture by itself. It wasn't even faced to me. I don't know what's going on. That was fucking weird. All I heard was like the camera click, and I was like, wasn't even looking at me. I don't know, the FBI's watching or something.
I gotta say, I'm looking at the Colts schedule right now, Russ. The next few weeks aren't a cakewalk for you guys.
I don't think it matters. Somehow he beat the fucking Chiefs. That makes no fucking sense.
Right.
But and like I said, is we had glaring needs offensively at receiver and offensive line, and we did not take care of them. Their plan was to go through the draft, and normally Chris Ballard has done a phenomenal job with the draft. You got Jonathan Taylor. He picked up, and it's obviously you could sit there and say, "Oh, first round picks." He wasn't a first round pick. Taylor was picked in the second or third round. Same thing with Darius Leonard or Shaquille Leonard. Now, he's become one of the fucking best linebackers in the league all through the draft. We've had some really good, stuff come out, and but other than that, free agency wise, I think he's been absolutely fucking terrible. And last night too, Jonathan Taylor was out. It happens. I think it's, he really isn't injured that much, or really at all. He's been great. But Nyheim Hines was set to take over in the first fucking series of the game. Boom, he's out with. I'm assuming concussion, but if you watch the play, he didn't even look like he got hit in the head or even hit his head on the ground. It just looked like he took like a hard shoulder hit. But then he got up like fucking Lawrence Taylor took off his fucking head.
You got to think, with everything going on with the whole Tua situation in Miami, the littlest inkling that somebody is injured to their head, possible concussion or something related to that,
well,
it's going to be,
Well, it wasn't like he just stumbled when he got up. He like fucking stumbled, got bow-legged, and then tried to like run away, and like you could tell he didn't know where the fuck he was, but you didn't even see him get hit in the head. It was very confusing. Very confusing. But yes, that's now the other thing too, is you want players to be safe. You don't want them to ruin their lives after football. But I think now you're going to see a lot of people that even remotely get fucking hit hard, that they're going to have to come out of the game. You're going to start reviewing everybody. I think it's going to become a little ridiculous, but at the same time, I don't want to see people get hurt and ruin themselves down the line. But I mean, it is football. You got to give it a little leeway. And you know what you signed up for. You're making millions of dollars. Give me a little bit. Let's not,
Do you want a live Mets Padres score update, or are you not watching until the show we're done?
Time the fuck out. Time first off. It's supposed to be on the TV, but if you tell me there's already a fucking score change already, and
there is.
Oh my fucking god!
There is. Yes.
Oh, fucking Padres home run off Max. That's fucking great. 2-0. Game over. You give Darvish 2-0. Great. I'm fucking might as well not even watch now. That's fucking great. Really.
Yep.
First inning. Max fucking shit in the bed. That's fucking great.
Yep.
What's that?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. What? My wife says they should pay me every time you say the F word. It makes zero sense.
No. Obviously, we don't have any language restrictions here, but you can F-bomb away all you want. There's no money involved. But yeah, 2-0 Padres. 2 outs in the first. Mets have not come up to bat yet. It's Scherzer against Darvish, like we discussed before.
I mean, if we know the Mets, they may never come up to bat.
Real quick, also, the NFL announced protocol changes to the concussion screening that they have going on, the whole Tua situation like we just talked about. Russ, I got to say, the guy got leveled, got knocked into next week.
Oh, Tua did.
Yeah.
I don't see how any way.
The doctor got fired after all that.
I don't see how any way, when he came out of the Bills game, that how anybody could not see that he wasn't concussed. That was upper back injury, my fucking ass. If he had an upper back injury and not a concussion, then God damn it, I'm not fat.
Anybody could have diagnosed it that way. I mean, really.
And then he got absolutely freaking, I thought he broke his fucking fingers. He was like,
yes. That was a reaction.
I thought he broke his goddamn fingers.
I read that was a reaction to the way when he got hit. There was
he looked so fucked up, and at that point you knew, like, holy shit. I'll be honest with you. You get a reaction like that, I wouldn't expect him back for weeks.
No.
And I know there's already people saying how he should retire now. I mean, that's up to him, but definitely that was a very, very scary moment, and you don't want to see that. But
locally, we have the Giants in London this Sunday against Green Bay. Both teams are 3-1. Hey, Russ, our first few weeks of NFL picks were a complete gong show.
Forget about that. Just concentrate on what happened last week. I was 3-0. It's 3-0. That's all we need to know.
I was 2-1.
3-0.
got?
That's it. That's all we need to know.
All right. And we're gonna have our picks posted on the E.A.T podcast Twitter page.
Who are the Giants playing?
Green
I don't
Bay.
know. Who are they?
Both 3-1. Green Bay 3-1 each in London.
Green Bay is
9:30 in the morning.
Green Bay is like an enigma. Like, I don't feel like Rodgers is playing like Rodgers, but yet they keep, I don't know. Last week I thought when Hoyer got hurt, not that I thought Hoyer was going to do much. Zippy or Zappy or whatever his name is for New England, he kept them right in the fucking game. And I don't know. Green Bay looks good one week. They look like shit the next. They still win, and I don't know. It's just very weird. Aaron Rodgers has nobody to throw to, really. I mean, Randall Cobb is 5 years past his prime, and what's the other one? He lost Valdez Scantling. He's over.
Jordy Nelson's long gone, buddy.
Jordy, I love fucking Jordy. I love Jordy. He was great. Fucking guy to have fucking 85 catches a game. He was great to bet on. He reminded me too. I remember back in the kid, I loved Ed McCaffrey.
Yes.
Feisty motherfucker.
I'm looking at the games for this week, and Russ, if obviously the whole London thing rubs NFL fans the wrong way, but obviously the NFL's making a fortune by going over there. If I had to give you a guess, what do you think the lowest priced ticket is to get into the Green Bay Giant game in London this weekend?
500.
Talking American money, the lowest price ticket.
500.
571.
I believe it comes. Listen, if you're, I believe it, and I would pay it as well.
That's why they're doing this.
I'm over in London. They make good money. They go over there. It's a whole gimmick. But last week's game was the shit though. That was a fucking good game. What was that?
Yeah.
Saints Vikings. That was actually like the great second half. And
that was the game I lost last week.
All right, we got out of the first thing down. Bottom of the first. Mets down 2-0.
This
Like
week
Bob,
you got some big spreads this week too, Russ. I don't know if you looked at. I don't know if you prepared or
I'm
looked.
going right now. Oh, we got Arsenal Liverpool Sunday morning. All right, I like it.
Wrong football, buddy. Wrong football.
By the way, I bought it to play with my daughter and ended up playing myself. Anybody wants their ass kicked on FIFA 23, I'll fucking beat the shit out of you. Not really. I'm fucking terrible, but Giants Packers. All right. Pats Lions. It's gonna sound crazy, but I might take the Lions. The Lions have been scoring.
No. You cannot take the Lions.
I'll be honest with you. If I was in a knockout pool, this might be the week to take the Lions over the Pats. Bills 14 over this. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Dolphins 3.5 over the Jets.
Are you laying 7.5 with the Vikings to the Bears?
I don't know.
The Saints and the Seahawks.
Yes. Andy Dalton starting there. Seahawks put up 48 points last week. Jags Texans Jags -7. Jesus Christ. That should be 3. I would take them, but 7. Titans 2.5 over the Commander. Even though they beat us, the Colts, I don't think the Titans are that good either, but the Commanders. I don't know if it was the real Washington Commanders Twitter account, but last night on how bad the Colts-Broncos game was, somebody with that Twitter handle or them, I don't know, I didn't actually get a chance to verify, said, this looks like the Commanders playing themselves. So I don't think the official Twitter would put that out, but that was kind of funny. Chargers -2.5 over the Browns. I like that.
Okay.
49ers -6.5 over the Panthers. 49ers looked mighty impressive the other night, although I watched the first quarter, and that was it. What do you want from my life?
You got Cowboys and Rams. Cowboys are getting 5.5.
Cowboys going to get rammed up the ass. I'm actually pretty surprised. Cowboys, Rams, over. I'm actually surprised at how well Cooper Rush is playing. And
yes.
Did they give Dak that monstrous contract yet that he wanted? I don't remember. Didn't he turn it down? They haven't. Look it up.
I thought they signed him. I thought Dak got the big deal.
I don't remember if they did or they were working on it and haven't, because they didn't do it. This might be proof that that team is actually pretty decent. And he may, spending all that money on Dak may not be worth it.
He
The
signed
Eagles?
he signed a 4-year, $160 million deal in March of 21.
All right. My memory's going. I'm getting old.
Yeah, me too.
Eagles, Cards, over 40. I got to tell you, Eagles are playing fucking really well.
I know they are.
Jalen Hurts looks like he looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
AJ Brown was a great pickup for them.
Yes.
And they're playing good defense as well. It's then you got Bengals, Ravens.
That's your Sunday night game.
The Bengals have the Ravens have only been losing for what I think it said like fucking 8 minutes or 3% of their games. 3%.
And they're 2-2.
And they're 2-2.
Yep.
Something like that. That's a good matchup though. Bengals, Ravens. You know, you got a division matchup and you get two teams that are probably, obviously playoff teams. All right, it's going to be an interesting week.
And then Monday you got Raiders, Chiefs.
Well, Bucks, Falcons. All right,
Yeah,
all right. Oh, we never even discussed this. And as much as I want to watch the Mets fucking lose.
Okay.
At what point? At what point does Tom Brady say, "Fuck this"? I basically ruined my marriage for football. I'm going to destroy motherfuckers and starts just going off because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Reports are they hired divorce attorneys. They're both on the outs with their marriage, and it stems to him becoming a different person when they moved to Florida, and him playing again this year.
Well, on a side note, he looks fucking weird now. And I really like the guy. I really fell in love with Tom Brady after he left the Patriots. But his facial features looks, I don't know, something looks totally different this year. He fucking looks weird, but I don't know. He fucking, the way he went out last year, you knew he was going to probably come back. But, I don't know, to ruin your marriage over it and
no.
Yeah, you're 40, whatever.
45?
45. You know, I get it. You want one more year. You know, how Giselle can understand. But listen, she's been waiting a long time to say, hey, listen, I want that dick on a regular basis, you know. But I don't know. You just possibly, I don't even, who knows at this point if it's reconcilable.
It doesn't look like it.
You know, it doesn't. You know, shit. I mean, I'd be over there every day. Like, please, like, listen, just let me play this one season. I promise. I'm out.
Yeah.
Something had to happen though for in the middle of all of it when he retired to come, to just all of a sudden I'm coming back, and they took those odd 12 days in between.
Yeah, people said he did The Masked Singer, and that's why he was gone.
I'll be honest with you. If he was on The Masked Singer, and I was a teammate, I'd probably be pissed. Like, yo, you missed fucking part of our training camp to be on The Masked Singer. Well,
people said that the new mega deal he signed with Fox for $30-something million a year might have had that included in it, that he had to appear on this season's show. We'll see, obviously, as that show plays out, if he's really on it or not. But, I mean, honestly, if he signed the big media deal and then came back, why not just ride off into the sunset? And do you really need the money? You and your wife are worth, what, $1 billion combined?
That's what makes me think. This wasn't about money. This is about the way he went out. I don't remember. Did they lose in overtime? And he never even got a chance at the ball. There's something where he came back, led them on a comeback, and then defense fucked up, and he never got a chance. If I remember correctly.
I'm looking it up now. I want to say that they.
All right. On a side note, I think you said something the other day about the Camp Lejeune water ads. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's going on, but somebody just tweeted. To be totally honest, I'll take the goddamn mesothelioma if you just stop fucking the Camp Lejeune water ads. I guess there's something going on with that.
Listen, I'm getting phone calls about the water at Camp Lejeune. I've never been to Camp Lejeune. I don't even know what Camp Lejeune is.
I don't fucking, if anybody's actually listening to this, don't yell at me. I'm pretty sure it's a marine. Pretty sure it's a marine base. But so. I didn't know this was a thing until you said something the other day, and then all of a sudden now it's popping up on my marine base Camp Lejeune. Oh, water lawsuit. I never should have looked that up now, should I? Because now I'm gonna get fucking ads. My other day, my buddy went to Norway, which looks absolutely fucking sick. And there's like There's like this crazy. My brother went too, and I'm just jealous. But there's like this crazy black church there. That's like just it's all blacked out. It just looks absolutely sick. It looks like they just sacrificed so many fucking people and goats there. And what do you call it? And I was like, yo, I really want to go. So he sent me pictures. He's like, my buddy was like, oh, I've been there. And swear to God, this was just text through Instagram Messenger, me and him going back and forth for a little bit. Next thing you know, I'm scrolling through Instagram, and it's like, friend, asses, titties, ass. And then all of a sudden, fly to Norway, 2:30. I'm like, motherfucker, now I'm getting fucking ads to fucking Norway. And my conversation wasn't even verbal, where the phone could hear me like it's a fucking transformer. It was a direct, it was a private message between somebody. Fuckers are reading their fucking.
They're watching everything, Russ.
Well, who's ever watching me is probably like, God damn, this guy's fucking sick, but he's got great memes.
So just to touch upon the way Brady's season ended last year, the Rams converted a 30-yard field goal as time expired, which put them.
But he led a huge comeback.
Yeah, and then they lost on a 30-yard field goal as time expired to the Rams. Matt Gay converted the 30-yarder. So obviously, your experience ends like that when the time ends. Leaves a bad taste in your mouth. You want to come back again. You're supposed to win the Super Bowl and ride off into the sunset. Maybe that's what he's looking for again this year, but I don't see them doing that this year either. I just don't think it ends well for him.
Probably not.
Not if you got a divorce as a distraction in the background.
Yeah, now listen. You're gonna end up being divorced from Giselle with your kids and your family, and fuck it. Listen, I love if I was him, I would love football too, but I don't think that's worth it at this point. So let's end with a laugh. I came across this wonderful fucking woman on.
Who is that?
She's some woman on TikTok, but it wasn't her that caught my attention. It was the comment she was responding to. And the comment is, this is a new one for me. Is it fucking made me fucking laughing?
All right.
I would throw myself headfirst into a wood chipper just for the odd chance that I'd be recycled into your toilet paper.
What?
I don't know why that made me fucking cry tears the other night.
Oh. Interesting. That's a girl that's definitely going places.
Well, no, she was responding to somebody's comment of the way she looks.
Oh, okay. Just an update quick on your Mets, Russ. First inning is over.
I think they're gonna say something else like
No. First inning is over. It's still 2-0. The Mets had first and third. Alonso and Vogelback both at the plate, and both did not get it done.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So it looks like
we play the Islanders tomorrow night. And,
yes, we do.
Last exhibition game.
Yes, we do. Looks like I'll be owing Sandro some lunch or dinner.
Listen, Lavera Pizza, right? It's on 40. Maybe it's 48th and 2nd. This looks like your average run of the mill. I don't know. My boss I worked with for years was like a pizza-holic. And not that I don't love pizza. I fucking love pizza. So we tried a lot of places around the city. That was probably one of our favorites, man. They not just regular pie. They had some other specialty shit like this vodka pie that you could just drink the sauce. And we found a place out by us too. Same thing. I just drink vodka sauce off this pizza. But that was probably one of the best places overall in a while. It consistently was good.
I'll try it next time I'm in the city. I got to say, though, I still love Joe's Pizza. It's 7 Carmine Street in New York, just off 6th Avenue if you're in the city. Best slice I've had in the city, bar none.
And all you fucking tourists out there, please.
Stop going to Sbarro.
I know that you get out of Penn Station and you see Sbarro's, and for some reason it's just people think that no, it's fucking terrible. I walked by the other day going home. Some guy's eating spaghetti and meat. Are you fucking kidding me? You're eating spaghetti
from Sbarro.
From Sbarro's? Listen, there's Rose's Pizza, which used to be a staple in Penn Station, now outside, which makes damn good pies. And it's actual real fucking pizza, not this fucking go.
Hell of a beer selection at that place as well, Russ.
What do you call it? Yeah,
when they were in Penn Station, hell of a beer selection.
Yeah, but stop going to Sbarro's. Stop fucking going to Sbarro's. Listen to me. Anything around Penn Station, most of the part is just touristy bullshit. Stop. Same thing with Times Square. Okay, yes, you don't need Bubblegum Shrimp Company. There's so many fucking good restaurants. Stop going. Go to Tracks outside Penn Station. Okay,
Jax is
that was a
great.
staple in Penn Station. Their fucking raw bar was awesome. Their fucking
Yes.
Listen, you'd be surprised. Yes, I would eat raw fucking clams at a goddamn place called Trax in Penn Station. And you know what?
The food was
delicious.
phenomenal.
It was fucking phenomenal.
Yep,
Although
it
I want to
was.
say too, I found the halal card of my life this week. Last week actually.
Fun fact: never had halal. Never.
Fucking love it. Fucking love it. You give me a goddamn lamb and I'll eat that fucking thing's ass. Dude, I get, you know, we have a place here. I get the lamb over lettuce and tomato, little basmati rice. You get the nice white sauce on there. I don't know what the fuck's in it. I fucking love it. It's like creamy, like, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's not, you know, it's not tzatziki sauce because, you know, they're not Greek, but it's pretty good. I get that little falafel. It's protein, veggies. You know, it's semi-healthy. You know, it's good. So where I'm working now is like halal cart central, and it's in between Times Square and 6th Avenue. So it's business one side, tourist other, and it's literally there's like 6 carts on every corner.
Really?
And what do you call it? This guy apparently won the Vendy Award like 2 years ago for best fucking food cart. My buddy said, you gotta try it. I don't know. This thing blew the doors off the fucking our good place here. And I mean blew the doors. And I've literally had it about 5 times in the last 2 weeks. Just fucking simple. Just over a bed of fucking lettuce and tomato. Fucking they put the spices on the lamb and the white sauce and just, dude, it's so just
You're all
hands
set.
down. It ruined me. It ruined me. Best halal I've ever had by far, hands down. Blew our pace at home away. And if you like lamb, you like halal, fucking phenomenal.
All right, we're going to end on that. This is going to be episode 43. Big thank you to Sandro Piancone for coming on for the one-on-one. Any questions you have for him, you obviously can reach out at Sandro Piancone1 on Twitter. Russ, a replay of this show will be on Spotify and Apple tomorrow if you want to see a replay
what are you
of
watching?
it. With the video, it's on YouTube or Twitter as well.
Hey, honey.
What are you watching there? It should be the Mets right now who are down 2-0.
I know. I keep seeing replays of today's game. Why are the fucking Cubs batting? The Cubs are in the playoffs. Oh,
This is what I get for letting a 9-year-old put on the Mets game. I'm watching like replays of like the fucking Cubs and Reds on like MLB Network. What the fuck?
All right. Huge thank you to Sandro for coming on, and I hope that he's buying me lunch or dinner, and it's not the other way around. We'll see as this Mets-Padres series plays out. Russ, have a good night, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Peace.